I think somebody had to work, and I think Ash is driving. So anyways, hey Shelps. Okay, so I want to start talking about Jesus because it's Sunday and I just watched a sermon and I'm feeling so fired up. Hey Ash. So this sermon, okay, here's the crazy part. I can relate every single sermon to our business some way, shape, or form, right? But this one spoke to me so much. I literally just watched it like 20 minutes before this call. And I just have to reiterate it to you guys because I feel like there are so many of us that feel this and then don't talk about it. And maybe we're even holding ourselves back in a way from the business and our faith in general. So I wrote some notes, so bear with me because obviously I'm not a pastor, but I got to share this with you guys. So one thing that he was talking about was if you are repeating, you are not completing. Okay, so if you're repeating the same problems, if you're having the same things happening in your life, then you're not ever going to complete that chapter. You're not ever going to grow or learn or anything because you're just stuck in that same cycle. Do you guys see what I'm saying? And so then you're never going to learn from it, right? So if you're having new problems in your life, he says you should be excited. New problems in your life means new growth, right? So new problems means you're not on the same hamster wheel. New problems means you have something to learn. Okay, so whether that's losing rank, whether that's getting to the next rank, whether that's becoming a mom, whether that's, do you guys get what I'm saying? Like everything that goes in your life, like if there's a new problem, be happy about that. Like you might in the midst of it be like, oh my gosh, this sucks. Like I'm having all of these issues and I have all these things happening and being thrown at me. But in reality, it's because you're about to level up. But we don't see that. We don't hear that. We don't choose to like embrace it, right? We don't choose to embrace that change because it's scary and it's unknown and it's like, here we go with more problems, right? But embrace it because that means that with that comes growth. Okay. Okay. Stick with me with this one because it's kind of a tongue twister. What you behold, you believe. What you believe, you become. And what you become, you behave like. Okay. So like in layman's terms, what you are saying to yourself in the morning, what you are thinking in the morning is what you are going to become. Okay? That's terrifying to me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just like a day where you're like, okay, so whatever I think today is like, what's going to happen? Like, I'm manifesting what's going to happen. No. He's saying what you behold, you believe. What you believe, you become. What you become, you behave like. So you're literally going to behave like your thoughts. That's terrifying to me because I want to behave well, right? I want to behave as like a child of God. I want to be kind and caring. And if I'm being honest, my thoughts aren't always kind and caring. And the first thing when I wake up isn't always the best thing. Sometimes it's anxiety. Sometimes it's stress. Sometimes it's complete chaos. And I'm going to behave like that, right? I'm going to behave like complete chaos if that is how I wake up. That shook me to my core. Shauna's like, yes, preach it, mama. Like, seriously, that shook me to my core because it's not just like what's going to happen in your life. It's what you're going to behave like. That's a whole nother level of getting your mind right. You know what I'm saying? Like patience with your kids, patience with your husbands, patience with yourself. I want to behave like a good human. And in order for me to be a good human and a good mom and a good wife and a good friend, I have to think like one. You guys know what I'm saying? Oh, it blew my mind. Okay, it gets better. He had an example. This is the one that like really blew my mind. So he had a Polaroid camera, okay? And he was talking about, he like went into all this stuff that I'm not going to be able to repeat, but I'm going to tell you what I got out of it. And then I can share this sermon with you guys if you want. Actually, Jeree Kneller and Chad Kneller shared it on their pages on Facebook, and that's where I got it from. So he took a picture of the church, like he took a picture of the audience with the Polaroid camera. And as it was coming out, he was like, we have a tendency to want to see what God has planned for us way before our eyes can see it, right? So this Polaroid, he's like, this is us. Come on. Can I just see what's coming? Like he's shaking it. He's just shaking the Polaroid. Like, why is it not, but like you could just leave it there and like walk away and just trust that it's gonna show up, that the picture's gonna show up there. But instead we sit there and we just like lose our minds over it. Why isn't this coming true? Why am I not seeing this yet? Right. And what he was talking about is that we don't see through our eyes, we see through our faith. Okay. And the title of the message was called like, do you see what I see? And he was basically talking about how we have two sets of eyes, how we have our eyes that we can actually see with, and then we have the eyes of our heart, which we can actually like have faith in. Right. And so some of us, myself included, I want to know when I'm going to rank up. I want to know when we're going to buy a house. I want to know what that house is going to look like. I want to know how much money we're going to have in the bank. I want to know, you guys know what I'm saying? Like, I want to know all the things. I want to rush it. I want to just see the future. But that is not trusting. And that is not knowing that in our time that God is going to give us all of the abundance, all of the things. But we have to be willing to trust the process. So some of us are sitting here maintaining like freaking champs. And some of us are sitting here not maintaining, maybe even a couple levels down. And we're sitting here looking at God saying, why me? Why is this happening? And this goes back to the very beginning of this sermon. And I was talking about if your problems are repeating, you're not completing. So if you're constantly repeating this, what do you need to learn? Who do you need to become to complete this? That's heavy. That's heavy. Who do you need to become? Because he's not just going to hand me ambassador. That's a big title. That's a big title. And if I'm struggling right now with leadership, and I'm struggling right now with worth, and I'm struggling right now with overwhelming and anxiety and all of these things, how in the world could I possibly take on more? Because I'm taking it all on myself instead of giving it all to him, letting him take control of when all of those things are going to happen in their time. All I have to do is trust and do the work. You guys see what I'm saying? Transformation and value takes time. This is my last example here. And I actually wasn't super familiar with this story, but Shelbs probably is. But he was talking about Daniel and how he was praying and fasting for 21 days. And I don't remember who it was. I think he said like an angel, and correct me if I'm terribly wrong, Shelby, if you do know the story, but he said like an angel came down 21 days later. So Daniel is praying and fasting, and he's asking for all of these things, and he's not eating, and he's hungry, and he's just obeying and praying, right? And this angel finally comes down 21 days later, and he's basically like, hey, so sorry, man, but like I had like all these battles over here that I was fighting. I heard you on your first day. I heard your prayer on your first day, but I had all these battles that I was fighting over here. I couldn't get to you. Can you imagine when you're asking God for the things that you want or you need? Can you imagine for 1 second how many battles on his end need to be fought before he can hand them to you? That shook me. There are battles that we don't see. There are battles that we have to learn, we have to overcome, we have to grow through. All of these things that we are unwilling to give up. We are unwilling to stay faithful. We are unwilling to stay focused. But if we would just release it, take it, and rest in the fact that it's already ours. I'm kind of getting choked up. the picture will come clear. The picture will be clear. We will see it. Maybe not with our eyes, but with our faith. And that, like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I watched this, you guys. This is so good. Drop a 1 if this is like everything you needed tonight. So the last thing he said was, one day you're going to understand, and one day your story will make sense. Okay, so oh my gosh, I had to share with you guys. Like, one day your story will make sense. And all of the valleys and all of the mountains and all of the things that you've gone through, you're going to look back and say, wow, when I gave it to him, I grew through that. When I actually stopped the merry-go-round and just got off and sucked it up and learned what I needed to learn, I saw very clearly. And now you can go and you can teach others what you see clearly. So, does anybody have anything to add to that? I'm like shaking, sweating right now. Like, I feel like that was just, that was just fire. Let me look at the chats. Love this, chills. Okay, good. It's so crazy to me because I know sometimes it gets a little uncomfortable when all I do is just like preach about Jesus. But listen, I can relate it every single time to our business. And I am telling you, like, when you're in a business like this, there is no way that you can do this all on your own. There's no way. No way. I was listening to a song last night. I sent it in one of my group chats. It's called Valleys and Mountains. No, Hills and Valleys. What did I send, guys? It was like, he's got Hills and Valleys, I think. But it was so good. And it was like, he literally says in the song, and this is an old song, so I'm sure you guys know it, but like, it literally says in the songs, like, when I'm on that mountaintop, I'm going to praise you because you're the one who got me there. And then when I'm in my valley, I'm going to look up to you because I know you're standing next to me. Like, he never leaves us, you guys. And that's what's just so incredible is, like, no matter if you're in a valley or on a mountaintop, this is where things get hard. This is where you have to be humble and understand that when we were on that mountaintop, it wasn't ours to celebrate, you know, and that might have been why I lost Prez. I'll be the first one to admit that, because I got cocky, because I got excited, because we did this. You know what I mean? Like, look where we are. When really, like, I mean, I didn't have really anything to do with it. Because when I was getting there, I was praying faithfully. I was showing up for you girls doing devotionals. I was giving everything in my life to God because, frankly, I was in such a low pit with things happening with my brother that I had nowhere else to look. So I am reminded constantly that when I am at my highs, I still need to be praying and praising him just like I was when I was at my lows. Because that is the sole reason why I lost where I was. Because I stopped realizing who it was that helped me get there. And you guys might not have that same, you know, I'm just sharing what's on my heart tonight. You guys might not even be feeling like that's even a thing or anything. But for me, it's just such a constant reminder of, like, when your days are chaos and when you're feeling like down, or when you're feeling like, where's the time? Like, how do I fit this in? How do I continually pour into myself and also my team and also get new potentials and also do these haps and also do my follow-ups? Like, where do I even start? Here's the thing. Stop worrying about where to start and just start somewhere. Don't get overwhelmed. Just start. Put one foot in front of the other. 1 foot down, send 10 messages. 1 foot down, make a post. 1 foot down, do your stories. 1 foot down, send some follow-ups. That's it. You just have to put 1 foot in front of the other and the work will follow. I'm going to read what Summer said. God is not in a hurry. You are. That's why you're tired. It's why you're anxious, stressed, and disappointed. What's meant to be yours will be yours. Unrush yourself. That's what this reminds me of. And I've been seeing this quote everywhere the last few days. Really? Man, I love that so much. Thanks for sharing, Summer. I'm always in a hurry. Drop a 2 if you're like the most anxious, hurried person ever like me. I'm a mess. I hurry everywhere I go. I rush Hunt. I rush myself. I rush Brian. I'm always feeling behind. And then it's just like, why? Why? I'm not going to get there any faster. Shelbs, do you have anything to add?
Hi guys. Not really. That was so good. I was loving that. So good. How much time do we have? Like 10 minutes?
10 minutes, yeah.
The only thing that I had to add is gratitude. So we're like rolling into Thanksgiving week. I don't know. Thanksgiving's almost here. And Thanksgiving's like the number one holiday where we think of like gratitude. Like, what am I grateful for? What am I thankful for? A lot of people do like, hold on a second. I got a cough. I'm going to mute myself. It's going to be still like recovering from being a little bit sick. Did I mute myself? Was I muted or did you guys hear that? Oh, I saw Rochelle laugh and I was like, I did it wrong. And everybody heard it. But so we're rolling into Thanksgiving and this is like the holiday where we're all like, what are we thankful for? What are we grateful for? Hi, Bri. And for me, I just started thinking about it and I was like, so we've been talking a lot as a team about affirmations and manifesting and all this stuff. And I'm loving it. I know Ashley and her team are like majorly focusing on it, like haven't missed a day of the manifesting and all of that. And I just, it all kind of goes hand in hand, but like to me, gratitude is different. But just like you should be writing down your affirmations and saying them out loud, talking about the things that you want, like they already happened. I think that like taking a minute to write down some gratitude bullet points is so important too. And I've said this before, it could have been here, it could have been in like the weekly team meeting, but gratitude could be the smallest thing. It could literally mean like the 2 minutes that you get to drink your coffee before your baby wakes up, or the fact that you like didn't get stuck in traffic today on your way to work. You know, like it could be small little things. Or no, I remember I read in one of the Rachel Hollis books where she's like, when you do this gratitude type journal where you just take time to think about the things that you are that you have gratitude for, then the rest of your day will be so much better. Like gratitude is a choice. And when you choose to do that, the rest of your day is going to be amazing. And I actually heard in church today, one of our pastors talked a little bit about gratitude. And he was like, it's actually scientifically proven, like there's science behind it, that when you have that, gratitude is the key to happiness and life. And he was like, it's funny because these scientists are just now catching up, but that's been in the Bible for thousands and thousands of years. So like, way to go, scientists, like you cracked the code. And it's so true. Like when you have that, when you have gratitude in your heart, and, going back to all the things Rochelle just said too, and just like giving God all the glory, whether you're in a mountaintop or the lowest of the low valleys, no matter where you are, being gracious about it and having that gratitude, no matter what, it's gonna just set you up for something so beautiful. But like on the day-to-day basis, it's just gonna set you up for a better day. And what's crazy is there's been times where I've gotten messages, like negative type messages, where I like straight up won't even respond because I'm not even sure what to say. I'm just like, should I just like block this person? Or like a part of me wants to fight back a little bit, but even though I know that's not going to go anywhere, but I want to win them. Like I have this like battle in my head where I'm just like, no, I'm just not even going to answer right now. And then I wake up I make sure that I write down in my gratitude journal 3 to 5 things that I'm, thankful for. And then has this ever happened? And then you're like going through your messages and you're like, oh, I never responded to this person. And then you're just like, da-da-da-da-da-da. And it's like so easy. Like it's so easy to reply to them because you're having like a much better day. Whereas yesterday I was like, oh my God, what do I even say? I need to go ask Rochelle what to say this Thursday. Because I'm like, I don't know. So I just really challenge you guys that, and maybe you've been doing it all month or because of Thanksgiving month, or maybe you're like on it and you've been doing this. This is just a thing that you do. But if not, like this week is such an amazing week to just take some time to pull out your notebook. You're already writing down your affirmations. You're already writing, you're already journaling, all the things we've been like kind of talking to you guys about, and just take some time to write down like 3 things that you're just so thankful for, that you have so much gratitude for. So just a little like personal challenge for you guys to help you push through the month, because I actually love, I'm sure like the majority of you guys were on the Shay Knox Zoom that Rochelle did on last Tuesday. And I loved that she was like, we're not in boom season. Like this is like seed planting season and boom season's coming. And it's so funny because I feel like for the last 3 months, we've been like, it's boom season. And like, we aren't wrong. What we meant is it's go time right now, so that, when all the crops crop up, we're ready to pull them. But I just thought it was funny that she worded it like that, because I was like, oh, everyone's going to be like, what? It's not boom season. But I just think that like, as we are, ending this year, 2019, ending this month, ending this freaking decade, like as we end all these things, let's just keep pushing. And no matter where you are at, no matter what rank you end at this month or even next month, and I'm not saying don't push and don't keep going and don't try to get back to rank and beyond, because I know that a lot of girls on this team, their goal isn't like, I'm promoting at or after conference when the mic is dropped, because we don't know what that's going to be. That could be some, we have no idea, maybe nothing, so don't wait for your glow up. Like, let's go right now. And I know we have a lot of girls that are like, actually I'm planning on promoting like by December 31st. And so don't wait on it, but just know that, no matter where you do in this month or next month, to be so grateful for it. Just like Rochelle was talking about, like, be okay with being in the battle right now. Like, just stand your ground and just be in the battle. It's just part of it. It's part of this business. It's part of life. And there's a purpose right now for where you're at, whether you're just like living it up right now and you're happy as can be and you're like, what's everyone talking about, this like slow season, I don't get it. Or if you're like struggle bus right now, just plant your feet, just accept that you're in the battle, and that you're not going anywhere, and that it's just going to get better from here.
I love that. One thing that Rachel Hollis said too, which I was doing gratitude journaling all wrong before I listened to her, because I would sit there and I'd like rack my brain and be like, okay, I've already wrote the same thing down like a million times. And she was like, no, you're like, I mean, I wasn't talking personally to Rachel Hollis, unfortunately, but in her podcast, what she was saying was, you guys are doing it wrong if you're like thinking of all these big things for gratitude. Like, gratitude is very small, teeny tiny things, like letting somebody, or like setting, hold on mute. Like having somebody, let you in traffic, or like getting a parking space right up front or whatever. Like, when you write down like these little teeny tiny gratitudes, that's what makes you search for those small things, so that you can be grateful for those the next day, because you're like constantly searching for like, what am I going to write down tomorrow? Like, I need something good. Like, Huntley literally let me change her diaper without running away from me today. Like, I'm grateful for that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, seriously, these little teeny tiny things that we have to be grateful for, because otherwise we're just going to be like grumpy people all the time because we have nothing to be grateful for if we're not searching for those tiny things that, and those small wins. You guys, I don't know how many people I've talked to today. I asked a lot of people if they've signed, or how many LCs and DTs they've signed, because I'm doing a, what's it called? Steps to Success Challenge. And I wanted to know if anybody's completed their steps yet. I haven't even completed mine. I need one more DT. And so I was asking all these people, like, if they have. And some of my newbies were like, I've only signed 7 LCs. And I was like, hold up. You've only signed 7 LCs. Kate, I've signed 4. Thank you very much. Like, stop it. These are small wins. These are things to jump up and freaking down about right now. But because we have these like stigmas of like, well, I've signed 66 before, like, so 4 is nothing. Like, that is you and your mind just becoming somebody that you don't want to become. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to be grateful, and I'm going to be so grateful when I complete my steps, because I will. And I have had a rough month mentally, spiritually, emotionally, everything. Like, I have had physically a rough month, but I know that I powered through everything and that everything is going to fall where it's supposed to. So just stay strong, ladies, and know that, like, yeah, the boom season is coming, because it's not right now, in case we were wondering. But okay, let's hop over to the Ruby Zoom. Me and Shelbs are gonna